How's it going, everyone? My name is Gym Leader Jess. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. It means a lot. Hope you enjoy it. With this video, I had to go back and edit a little bit because I lost all of my audio. So once again, I am by no means a professional editor, professional Pokemon player, professional anything really. Anything I'm professional at is being fat. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you enjoy it. Without further ado, here is part 3 of my completely randomized Pokemon Nuzelock of Pokemon Heart Gold. Alright, so we left off defeating Whitney, and right after that we went to collect the Spearow, but since this is randomized, it actually is a Cranidos named Kenya, who's also an Ice type. So, without further ado, welcome to the team, Kenya. Can you fit this? Never mind. Alright, so next up we caught Alexio. Don't ask me what route it was on. Just trust me on that. That is one Pokemon per route because I don't memorize the names. But anyway, we named her Monica and we went on with our journey. Up next was this Executor on the National Park, I think it was. But anyway, we named her Sunny. And not too far from the National Park, we caught a Claydol. And we named this Claydol specifically Ken. Get it? Because it's a doll. Ken doll. LOL. Anyway, Claydol's actually surprisingly one of my favorite Pokemon. I don't know why, but I've always liked Claydol. But immediately we got sidetracked by this stupid trainer, and let me tell you, the battle was not preferred. Because I was sidetracked, I started off and led with Sunny, who is more than half HP going on here, so immediately I started to panic, but then I saw that Vigoroth went for a dig, and I realized, hey, I have a dig. I wonder what would happen, so I went ahead and hit dig for myself. So as I was waiting underground, waiting for the cue to attack this Vigoroth, right after it attempted dig on me, but I dig on it, got it just about a little over half health here. Then this boy hits me with an earth power that completely takes me out and plays a familiar song in my head.
All around me are familiar faces, worn out.
Up next, I sent up Kenya because I wanted to finish the job and hit him with an ice type move, so I finished it off with an icy wind that completely destroyed the rest of this Vigoroth's HP. And then I caught a Bellsprout later on after defeating this trainer and named her Tori. So I only really videoed the training battles unless something interesting or significant happens, and yeah, something interesting and significant happened in this one. I was looking for some extra EXP, so I sent out my Kens to do some dirty work, and Claydol hit him with a Gyro Ball that hardly did anything, but then Totodile retaliated with a Hydro Pump that I was kind of scared for at first, but once again did hardly anything as well. It wasn't until Weavile hit him with a Cross Chop. Everyone's targeting my boy Ken here. And yeah.
Oh man, what has he got?
I might be the worst Nuzlocker ever. By no means am I a pro Pokemon player, Nuzlocker, whatever you want to call me. Yeah, that hurt, especially because I really like Claydol as a Pokemon. Might not be great competitively, especially in a randomized Nuzlocke, but hey. Nonetheless, but not as much as this almost did.
You shut up! I'm so fucking scared right now, you shut up!
Oh my goodness. This terrified me. Especially because I like Cranidos too. It's one of my favorite fossil Pokemon. So, what to do from here? Went ahead and took out that Weavile via critical hit, which I desperately needed. Got some EXP, leveled up, and hit him with a Silver Wind to hopefully knock out Totodile. Almost. So obviously Kenya's going back and we're sitting out undiscovered to finish the job. Gonna chip off a little tiny Hydro Pump, won't do much damage at all. A little bit more than I was anticipating, but you know, get a Nightshade to hopefully finish this job, and yes, it did. So at this point, I'm kind of numb to pain. This whole experience for this randomized Pokemon Nuzelock has been me burying these poor Pokemon. So got to bury Claydol, and I had to bury Luxio as well. Not Luxio, the other one. Anyway, caught a Wingull, named him Diddy. It's my go-to name for most Wingulls. And then we caught a Seedot. I was pretty pumped about this one, and we named the Seedot Corn. Yeah, so that was pretty. But none can compare to this next encounter, Camerupt. one of my all-time favorite Pokemon of all. I was so hyped to get this Pokemon, and we named him Van Halen because, you know, eruption, you know. But anyway, I was so excited, so instantly got on my team to start training. And although we lost a lot of members in this short run that we've had so far, not even 4 badges, I'm pretty excited about this team. Let's see where this takes us. So here I'm just trying to tease myself, trying to psych myself up to see if I'm actually ready for this rival fight. I've hardly done any training whatsoever, but you know what? Mama didn't raise a chicken. So we're gonna go ahead and take on the big fat meaty himself and hopefully get some extra EXP, and hopefully nothing intense or crazy is gonna happen. So we're just gonna have to see what happens. So we are going to face the rival, and they sent out Gorbius, and I led with Van Halen. In a typical matchup, this would be a ridiculously scary event because, you know, Gorbius is 4 times effective against Camerupt. But nonetheless, they came to play today, so they switched out to Shuppet, which I knew was Steel type, and that is super effective against me. So of course I flinched, fainted, whatever. What is not fainted, obviously. Sent out Corn to hopefully tank this Bullet Punch as I go for a Earthquake, but an Iron Head does a significant chunk of damage, but I retaliate with Earthquake and completely wipe out this Shuppet. Up next was Banette, which is the same type and has the ability Color Change. How do I know this? Because I have one myself. So Color Change allows you to change the type of the Pokemon depending on what type it was hit with. So for example, if it was hit with a Ghost type, then it'll change to a Ghost type Pokemon. So with that being said, I switched to Undiscovered to hopefully get some chip damage with Confusion, and then ultimately hit it with a Shadow Ball, changing its type to Ghost type, and hopefully by the next turnaround, if I haven't received too much damage, then I'll hit it with another Shadow Ball. But thankfully, it only goes for an Iron Defense. I hit it with a Shadow Ball, and it just barely gets the crit, just barely gets the KO. So probably if it didn't have those Iron Defense going on, then I would have killed it completely. But one more Shadow Ball does the trick. So up here is where I completely lose it, completely crap myself, because my big fat mania rival sends out Mewtwo. So in hopes to get some chip damage for, you know, Confuse Ray, because I've yet to miss a Confuse Ray, it completely prevails and hits me with a tanky head smash that ultimately gets rid of Undiscovered, our first companion on this run. Yeah, that one hurt. Out of all the deaths that we've had in this run, that one hurt the most because Undiscovered was our first encounter in this run. So to send out some reinforcements to get our ultimate revenge, we have to send out our tanky Dr. Hate and hit them with a poison. Got some chip with the confusion and some chip with the poison, and then hit them with a discharge to forcefully hit this Mewtwo, but yet it was not enough. Head Smash hits Blissey once more, and as I'm scared for my life, Blissey takes the hit, and then Mewtwo is down with the poison. So at this point, I am completely panicking. I'm still in complete sheer shock of what the heck just happened. Undiscovered was my absolute first encounter, and it hurt me to see Undiscovered go down right before the 4th gym leader. So nonetheless, I kind of scattered my Pokemon, kind of blindly, not really focusing on what I'm doing. And thankfully Gorbius only comes with non-lethal attacks, so I switch over ultimately to Kenya to hit an Avalanche to hopefully deal some decent damage. But alas, after the Avalanche connects, not that much damage is complete. But that did not discourage me. I told Kenya to pick himself up and continue to hit with the Avalanche, and look at this.
Oh, you almost had it.
Just barely. Gorbius is literally fighting for their life right now. So, with a third avalanche, I beat my rival. But at what cost? I'll tell you what cost. The cost of evolving my little tiny acorn on my team into a slightly larger acorn with now limbs and weirdly distinct nipples. But nonetheless, I'm very excited that corn is evolving. Hopefully we can find a leaf stone here soon and get a Shiftry on the team. Now all we need to do is find a leaf stone, and yeah, so things are starting to look up. So I went ahead and got some training done as well, and I met this Perugly and completely annihilated my favorite Pokemon.
Huh?
Yeah, so hey, there's that leaf stone we found.
Oh, would you look at this?
Yeah, well.
Would you look at that?
Yeah.
So yeah, kind of ironic that I catch a Nuzleaf and I need a leaf stone, and I find this leaf stone in the cave. So yeah, we have a fully evolved Shiftry on the team right before the 4th gym leader, who is dark ground type. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So I really didn't want to record this part because I don't really care about Smoochum, but Smoochum was my next encounter that I got. Weirdly enough, was really hard to catch, so I named her Carmex and immediately put her in the box. Then I got to Cacturn while I was training with some trainers, and yeah, everything was going good until I found out this Cacturn was fire type and completely annihilated Monica. But after that, I said enough was enough, and I vowed to myself that no more Pokemon were going to faint on my watch. Anyway, so after some training and some more deaths, finally got my Pokemon decently to the level cap of this 4th gym leader, and without further ado, here's the battle. So this dude Morty from Rick and Morty completely sent out a Skuntank, which I sent out my Bagel, because Bagel at this point was my strongest Pokemon. So instantly hit him with a hard-hitting Meteor Mash that completely wipes out Skuntank. I was pretty excited about this, but also wipes out Ambipom. And then Duskull. So at this point, this gym leader was the easiest by far. And it wasn't until the final Pokemon that was the hardest, Caterpie. Blinded by ignorance, I go for a Hyper Beam instead of a Meteor Mash. And this worm is on something else. This worm then uses cosmic power to call on the cosmic gods to give itself energy boosts of defense and special attack. And then, since I had to recharge, it healed itself.
So, care to try again?
Looking back, I should have used Meteor Mash on this thing, because look at this. Completely kills it in one shot. So Bagel has single-handedly given me the 4th gym badge, thus continuing the story of this randomized Nuzelock. And that concludes today's episode of my completely randomized Pokemon Nuzelock of Heart Gold. If you liked this video, be sure to click that like button, subscribe. It truly means a lot. As I'm continuing to make more and more content that I enjoy making, whether it be Pokemon games, other games, whatever that might be. I really enjoy this, and I enjoy making this content, so all the support means so much. So yeah, and without further ado, I will see you at episode